Hey, Brown Sugar, what's up? I just started it, so you did you get the alert this time? And can you hear me? Hey, JJ, y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. Brown Sugar, did you get the alert? And can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? Okay, because Brown Sugar, I did some research on the alerts. Thanks. Hey, son. The alerts, I can set up something. Hey, Linda, what's up? Let me send Heidi a message. Hit me up in you can go to Trucker Doll, send me a messenger on Facebook, and I'll send her a message. Sometimes the phone number I give you is her cell phone number, it's her personal cell. And sometimes I know she and her partner go on vacation or whatever. So I don't know the number to the business side, but I'll send her a text because she's dealt with me before and she'll respond. But let me know. And you're calling her, not emailing her, because you can email her too. But I know she usually responds to the calls more than she does the email quicker. But hit me up on Facebook under Trucker Doll. Send me a messenger when you find me. And I think it's going to be under Getting Saucy or something like that. You send me a messenger, and then I'll get your contact information and real name. And then I'll reach out to Heidi and say, hey, I have some truckers on the channel who are reaching out to you. As you guys can hear, I'm breathing a little bit better, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So I'll do that, Linda. I have no problem doing that. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, Brown Sugar, the alerts, apparently there's something I can do also to hopefully ensure the alerts on the YouTube get to you, because you're not the only person that tells me that you don't get the alerts. So I'm going to see if there's something in the settings on my end, because I just researched it because a couple people have said the same thing you're running into, that when I go live, they weren't getting the alerts. So we'll do that. Oh, you missed each other. Okay. Yeah, she's usually good about the callback. The email, she lacks a little bit lackadaisical on. Well, the doctor's appointment is a whole nother drama. So I did go to the doctor, but unfortunately the cost, because my insurance, I was on FMLA, then I ended up ending my time with the company, but my insurance was still good for a period of time. I was able to get my last group of prescriptions, and I wasn't sure when the insurance cut off. When I went to the doctor, they ran the card and they called and it had cut off. I haven't transitioned to the new insurance because I was going to do that under the lease purchase, and I was still shopping. So you have like 60 days with the ACA, the Affordable Care Act laws that went in effect in order to transition when you leave one insurance company to get another insurance. So you have like a 60-day window. I think it's 60 days, 60 or 90-day window. So I was still within my window, and I was shopping around for the best price. Once I decided not to stay with the lease purchase company because of all that drama, I then knew I was going to go back company to somebody's company. JJ is where I was looking at, and that's still on the table. That's still an option, but I have a company that is here in Lubbock that I may be looking at, and I got to see what their insurance is. It would get me, the company is still an OTR company, but they're based here in Lubbock, Texas. Therefore, I would be back here more frequently. I could do my resets. I do go through Phoenix. They don't go any further east. I know they don't go as far east as the Carolinas. So everything they do is west of the Carolina line, north and south, west of the Carolina line. And a lot of what they do is I-40 corridor, which works for me. I-40 is not nearly as bad as I-80, I-70, I-90, I-95, although it's not that. Even with the global warming that's happening now, it's not that bad. Guys, I'm gonna open this up a little bit and get some cool air in here because it's a little warm in the car. I'm gonna get to the breathing because you guys can hear me breathing better. Still having some issues, but not what I was. And I don't know who it was. They put a comment, and I want to thank them because really the steps that they told me to take, and you can still hear I'm still grabbing a little bit, are the steps that helped. I had been off the CPAP because I had the cold, and when you have a CPAP, normally it's a face mask and or nasal pillows. Mine are nasal pillows that I breathe through. Okay. When you have a cold, it doesn't work because you're already congested. So it's like you can't breathe. So you have to come off the CPAP during times when you have a cold or flu, whatever. I haven't had a good cold or flu in a long time. And whatever this was, it kicked my behind. Okay. So I came out of Phoenix with it, came here, and I had it like it was, I would almost get over it, and then I would get in a climate where I'd get it right back. Get over it, get it right back. My father is special. Let's just leave it there. And when I came here, he doesn't like to go anywhere. He pretty much just wants to sit in his dang chair. And then he thinks, if you need something, he's like, well, you can drive the car. Here you go. But he tries to, my father's a manipulator, very much so. He's a manipulator, and with women he did, he's kind of control freak, although I'm usually very stubborn. So if it's something's going to benefit me, then I'm going to do it. But if it's something that you just want done, we just going to sit there and look at each other because I'm not the one. But I knew I think we didn't have food or something in the house because he doesn't keep, because he refuses to cook for himself. And it's not that he can't cook, he refuses. I had to go out when I came here and go get food, and I wasn't feeling good at the time, but there was absolutely nothing in the house to eat. I don't even know if he had soup back then. I don't know. When I say there's nothing to eat, there's nothing to eat. You go in the refrigerator, there was no milk, there's no eggs, there's no bacon. He had some orange juice and some crackers. Honestly, that was his refrigerator. It's just insanity. And I told him, I said, what happens if there's an emergency? And then I found out he had some cans of soup. That was it. And he had 4 or 5 cans. He had maybe 3 frozen dinners that were old as hell. So everything in the frozen dinner was freezer burning, but he just needs to throw them in the trash. It's insanity. It was insanity. Because he spends his money eating out, and then he's talking about he's broke and other issues. There's other issues. My father's special. So I went to the doctor. When I got there, it was going to be like $200. I didn't even have it. I've gone through, because I've been here, almost 3 weeks, and I had a couple of grand, but I've gone through that because when I got here, his car needed oil change, and I owed him a little bit of change. So I said, well, I'll go ahead and get the oil change because I had the money. I also used almost $300 getting back here to Lubbock because the cousin fell through. So I got my ticket back to Lubbock at the last minute, which cost me almost $100. I had to pack an extra bag because I was expecting family to come get me. And I would have dropped the stuff off coming out of Vernon because we were equidistant when I came out of Vernon, Tyson's and Vernon, to drop it off in Lubbock and then drive into Denton. But believing that, and I should know, his side of the family is they're just unreliable. And I hadn't dealt with this cousin before. But the way I asked him, because I asked my father, is he reliable? Oh, yeah, John is reliable. John full of shit. Excuse my French. He's full of shit. So John volunteered, hey, Doll, because they call me Doll. Doll, you in Lubbock, that's the middle name. You gonna Denton. You know what, just give me some gas money and I'll take you to your daddy's house. Well, I'm thinking, well, that works perfect. I can get the truck back here to the company and get it cleaned up, packed up, and ready to go. So I packed that truck as if I was going, a family member was coming to pick me up, and put my stuff on their car and then just go. So I had trash bags. Because I had bought a few extra things because I hadn't gotten back through Phoenix, plus what I brought on the truck. Plus I got in a trash can. I had my little Porta John set up because I always have a Porta John in case of emergency. I bought all this extra stuff. I had food from the refrigerator and that I had on the truck because I did have a fridge on the truck. I had the little curtain I bought. I bought supplies. I had some tools. I had a new kingpin lock. I had new locks. I mean, I had supplies. Some stuff I left on there. I had cleaning supplies. All that I had bought for this truck. So now I have to pack up what I can. I had extra bedding I had to buy because I didn't bring anything but a blanket. So I had to buy sheets and stuff for the bunk. So I had all that, and I had to get another duffel bag. Initially, I had gotten a small one. So now I spent maybe $100 in going to a Walmart close to there to pack up a second duffel bag. So now I'm going to have to pay an overweight ticket for the bus. So I paid another $100 just to carry my bags with me. That right there is $200. What should have been only $57 Greyhound ticket back to Lubbock, had I done it the initial way I had planned, because I dealt with my ghetto family on my father's side, cost me extra $200. So I came into Lubbock at a $200 budget deficit than what I really had planned. Okay. And I don't know if anybody answered me any questions, but I'll answer questions here in a minute. When I got here, I noticed the shortness of breath actually before I got here. I got stuck up in that polar vortex up in the Midwest, that first one they had where they talked about those minus 35 degrees up in Iowa. I was in, where was I going through? I was headed into the New Jersey area. So I was coming through like Ohio and everything. And when I got up there, it was cold as hell. We got into the teens. I didn't also have all of my full winter gear, which a company was supposed to get me something going west, which they do loads going into the West Coast. They said it's normally team loads, but they should be able to finagle something. However, that little driver manager I had, the little sister chick who we had to part ways before I left, that never happened. It wasn't even acknowledged. And there was nothing even discussed further about directing me back to Arizona to get my cold gear, which I told her I needed. I had cold gear, my microwave, my bedding, my boots, my tools. I had all that. So that was another red flag issue that I knew was the reason I most likely wasn't going to stay. I've already made these arrangements initially when I talked to the recruiter. I told you straight up when we had our long phone call on the phone. Then there were other issues, right? So finally with that company, though all those red flags, I knew we're done. Okay, we're done. So at this point, it was just get back. And I made my phone call to have another gig ready. Thank you to JJ. I still have that on the table as an opportunity, and they are high up on the list. But if I can get something where I do not have to do the East Coast, I really hate the East Coast. Honestly, I do. I really don't want to do I really don't even want to do New Jersey. I don't want to go past PA. That's just where I'm at. And if I can get something that keeps me west of Carolina, and I love the Carolinas, west of Carolina, I'm straight. So in the health thing that took place, when I came back, my father told me one of the ladies at his church, her sister's a truck driver. Her sister was leaving a major company to come back and work for a company here in Lubbock that she had worked for before. But she is also getting ready to be a caretaker for her aunt who's 80 and her grandmother who's 90. And the 80-year-old aunt takes care of the 90-year-old grandmother, something like that. Okay. That lady worked for a company locally here, the OTR company, and me and her had a very good long conversation. While I was sitting here, I don't know in the last video, I think I showed it to you, their truck was across the street. It was a 2018-19 Freightliner, top favorite truck of mine. One, because it has everything on there. There's space for your refrigerator, microwave, and it's pretty good running truck. It runs very smooth for the Freightliner. Roomy for me. The way it sits is perfect. Climbing in and out of it at my little short fat statue ain't bad. Well, I saw the truck over here, and when I got back to the house, I told my father, I said, get a hold of this lady. So he happened to talk to her, was it last week? And me and her talked, and she was talking about she was having breathing issues as well, had come out of some of this cold. She said, girl, and I told her how fat I am. I said, I'm like 400 pounds, but I have never had breathing issues I had pneumonia before. But I've never had, it wasn't as bad as, yeah. The pneumonia was bad because when you lay down, it hurt. And so I couldn't lay down. But they gave me antibiotics, which cleaned up that. When I got here to Lubbock, I was still dealing with the cold. Not as bad, but it was bad still. And I believe because my body kept going, get better. Yeah. That was a live. Yeah, that was the last live one I did. He was across the street. It was a blue truck. Because I'm here at Genghis Grill again. I came here for lunch. I'm on my way to Costco to get some trash bags. Then I'm going to Starbucks to send this application into this local company. And I don't mean local, meaning local driving. I mean local to here, meaning that their headquarters is here. Now, I don't know. I'm a person who believes God directs things. Thing happens to move you in a certain direction. And I've been praying, God, just give me a decent trucking company. They don't have to be huge. Matter of fact, I know now most of the time, if you get a very big trucking company, You're just going to be a number. And as a matter of fact, they may not even maintain their equipment good. Most of your larger companies aren't going to maintain their equipment good. The one that I went to, their equipment, the lease purchase, their equipment was maintained good, but they've doubled in size. And in the orientation, they started saying they're going to start doing what they do is their reviews of their trailers. They're extending it longer. So what that means is that the trailer is not going to be kept as well as it has in the past. And and I know they're doing that for budgetary, stretch their money, make more money, yada, yada, yada. Might be not to hire as many mechanics and have them do more work for less, or for the same money. It's just what it is. And to stretch it out so they're not doing so much work so they can maintain maybe the tractor trailers, whatever. And so what's going to end up happening, they'll get like the big boys, they'll start being lackadaisical in their maintenance, and their standards are going to go down. I hate to say that, but that's what I see. Because when you have high standards and then you start reducing them, that's going to obviously affect what's going on around you. Anywho, me and the lady talked. I told her I would like to maybe sit down and interview her before she leaves Lubbock to go to the Carolinas. She was going to go back to work for this company. They know her by name. And she said, when you put in for them, give them my name. I was like, okay. She said, because they're begging for me to come back. She said, you will be here in Lubbock a lot. She says, you'll even do most likely your 34-hour resets here in Lubbock. I'm like, cool. Now, the way that I personally like to run, that 4 to 5 or about 5 weeks out, 5 days off. I'm going to be talking to them and seeing if that's a possibility. They don't, and I asked her, could home time in Arizona? She said, most likely not your home time here in Lubbock, because what she was trying to do, the only reason she's not going back to them, they used to run into the Carolinas, but the account that they had, they do not have anymore. So they mainly run for the United Grocery chain out here. But they also run, I think, Tyson Beef. And then they run produce loads out of California. And I was like, cool. I could easily do that. It is a reefer company. And I was like, that's perfect. So, and then I told her, I said, okay, so the only thing I have to do is do my driving and backing test. She said, girl, please. How many years you got? I was like, 5. She said, any incident on your record? I said, no. They can verify your previous employers? I said, yes. She said, girl, please. She said, you go in there. If they hire you, they're going to have you piss in a cup, and they're going to assign you a truck, they're going to assign you a load, and you're going to get to running after they run everything. I'm like, okay. She said, they don't hire unexperienced drivers. Once they verify you have experience, if you got over 3 years experience, why in the hell are you doing a backing test? You should know how to back a damn truck. Which there are certain companies I know who just basically say, go, here you go, because they already know. And then she's absolutely right. You got 5 years experience, no accidents, that you should be able to back a damn truck. What were you doing? Just driving straight? There's no way, no way. So, some will do that, but she said locally, she said, girl, please. I don't care if they do. I can back, I can drive, so don't care. Anywho, so I'm going to be putting in for them. I'm giving them through probably mid to end of next week. And after that, if I don't hear from them, then I'm going to go ahead and I'll be heading out to the company that is a go. And I'll go to their orientation, which is in Texarkana. I was also looking at possibly a work from home, but the more I'm here with my father, I can't. Being in the house with him, watching him is insane. It's disturbing. And I'm not, I'm very much Christian. I'm actually even sat with all the sitting and just kind of praying about this breathing issue. I really am Christian. A lot of life changes I've chose, and I'm gonna talk about that in a minute too. Not going too far on the Christian line, but there's some things going on in the background that people, Brown Sugar, we talk about it in the background. I won't tell the company on here in case it's everything's a go, but I can talk to you about it in the background. That I can do. So hit me up on Facebook and I'll tell you who it all is. We can talk about that in a private message. So And Brown Sugar was asking me who the company is. I won't tell her who it is on here, because if I go there, I don't tell my company where I work, because y'all know I like to tell good, bad, and indifferent. You know, I wear gear by all different companies. Don't mean, see, I got an H hat on right now. That's a trucking company. I have another company out of Oklahoma. I wear their shirt. I got a Premier. I wear their shirt. This is Old Swift shirt. Y'all will never know. Some of them I work for. Some of them I have it. Some of them I get gear from people. I take free gear. I'm just saying. But me and you talking in the background. I have no problem telling you, Brown Sugar, who it is. Just it's going to be in the background. There's a lot that I'm considering. I was considering possibly going to a work at home corporate job. And I would be working from home, but I can't. And my father's like, well, you can crash. Well, I already know that. I know that. But my father, helping you for you. He's helping you for himself. So I want you to understand what I mean by that. He is not helping you for you. He's helping you for himself. If it benefits my father, he will help you. If it don't benefit him, he'll half-ass help you, maybe, or he'll lie. And he lies. I didn't realize how much of a liar he is. He lies a lot. Him and little boy Trump, him and his little brother Trump, they lie just to lie. And it's disturbing watching that. And I'm at a different point. I'm not perfect. Lord God, that's true. I have, you have, we all have. To cover our ass. That's what right now we got that thing on TV. I've been watching that Cohen thing on TV while I was in here eating lunch and while I was at the house. And, people lie to cover for themselves, to cover for other folks, to cover for their BS, to cover for all the stuff they done did. Everybody does. But when you have a person who lies 24, they wake up and lie. They believe they lies. They live in their lies. It's beyond scope. It's okay. Brown Sugar, and I can tell you why. I'm gonna put my minister hat on a little bit. A lot of people, and I hate to say it, a lot of males, especially males who have either low self-esteem or are trying to, I call it getting a dick stroke. God forgive me, I'm getting ready to get real, y'all. Get their ego stroke, their dick stroke, whatever. Feel like they're the biggest Johnny on the block. Instead of being real about their situation, who they are, and being confident in who they are, they will lie. And I used to work with a young male, and every word, I won't mention the name, every time he told something, it was virtually a lie. Not everything, but I'm going to say he lied about 90% of his day. He would tell you stuff, and you'd be sitting there shaking your head, because some of it you knew was a lie. And then I'd have to, some things I would call them to the carpet on. Just lie to lie. My father, I'll give you an example. So he's incontinent right now, okay? And God knows certain things about yourself. Something that God has been dealing with is being real about your situation. One of the things, I came and had stir fry today. I had to think, okay, what's the most healthy thing I can do outside this house? I got me some stir fry. And this little breathing issue has been a wake-up call. I gotta change stuff up. There's no ifs, no ands, no buts. It's kind of like getting here. I've been saying I want to move from Arizona. It's a poop or get off the pot. This is a poop or get off the pot. I really believe my weight is a huge factor. Like when I'm sitting, breathing is not as bad. Okay. But when I'm walking, it is a little bit more of a struggle. I'm doing better because I was at a point where when I walked from the car to his apartment, I had to stop 3 times. Now I can walk from the car to the apartment without stopping. Now, what I am doing, though, is I'm coughing up stuff. And whoever put on my thing about the CPAP, I'm back on my CPAP. My lungs have opened up. And now in the middle of the night and throughout the day, I'm coughing up stuff. I'm coughing up like a thick phlegm. Okay. Not being mean, not being weird, just being real about it. So I'm coughing up a thick phlegm. My father, thank you, Brown Sugar. Yes, hit the like, subscribe if you're not subscribed. All that good stuff. Everything Brown Sugar just said. Hit the bell for the reminders. And y'all can always reach me on Facebook. I'll start putting my things below. But yeah, give me the thumbs up, all that good stuff. And we've gotten up to over 600 in membership. So I want to thank everybody new who subscribed. There's more coming. I'm sitting there in the house, and actually he has helped me decide going back into trucking. I'm like, I can't sit in this house with you. I had contact for AMEX. American Express is hiring for, they're hiring from work from home. And I thought about doing that. I would have had to get the internet turned on in this house. I could work out of the second bedroom. But the more I'm there, unless God really sits me down, I can't do it. I just can't. So, and I'm going to get to that here in a minute. My father, he's been putting his dirty clothes in the second room. And initially, when I first went there and I knew about the incontinence issue, he wasn't on the catheter. Because the last time, about 2 times ago when I was here, we ended up at the emergency room. His diabetes, his blood sugar was in the 600 realm, because he basically ignores, he eats sugar regardless, he drinks sweet tea regardless, he does his insulin, he does his pills, but he basically doesn't give a damn. He's doing all the stuff he's not supposed to do. And I told him, you're not going to send me to go buy, don't say, oh, go buy me sweet tea, because I won't. I'm not. To me, to go and do that is just like taking somebody who's a drug addict and going buying their crack cocaine for them. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to get involved in putting you in a casket. Now, if you want to go do that for yourself, give it all you got. If you like it, I love it for you. I'm just not going to be party to the foolishness. So my father originally was refusing to even go on the catheter, which is, you have to push the catheter up your urethra, and you have a bag where basically you urinate into the bag. Because he refused to maintain the diabetes, I believe that's why he became incontinent. He would basically sit in his big boy pull-ups, and he didn't know when he was peeing, and he would just go. And then he would go change him out. He would not go to the higher absorbency for what he was doing. So he would basically piss through the pull-ups into his pants. And then he has one of those little plastic things to where it won't leak on his furniture. When I came down here last time, I calculated for him, because he kept telling me he was broke, how much money he was spending a month in just the pull-ups. I'm not even talking about the pads to cover the furniture. $1,200 a month, what this man was spending, because he refused to get the right absorbency. He refused to go get the catheter. We ended up, before I left, in the emergency, and they put the catheter in, and there was no more ifs, ands, or buts, because he got an infection, because his body was not fully emptying his bladder. Okay, so he got a bladder infection, and he went into pain. As soon, this is his thought, his mind is weird. As soon as they relieved the pain, as soon as they put the catheter in, you should have seen the blood, urine, and cloudiness from the infection that was in the line. This man told me, let's go get some pancakes for breakfast. And everything Sweetie could get, I said, oh, we at the hospital. Didn't you just get a catheter rammed up your crap? Well, I'm hungry. Bro, are you for real? I said, you got to do that on your own. When we get out of here, I'm going back to the house. I'm going to sleep, because we ended up there early in the morning. I said, if you want to go to wherever and eat your syrup and sweet tea, do you, playboy? Because obviously the pain in your penis and in your bladder didn't dissuade you from keep doing the foolishness. Give it all you got, bro. I'm going to go to sleep. He now is on the catheter, but it leaks. Yeah, brown sugar is bad. He leaks beyond the catheter tubing. So he's still doing the same pull-ups, because the pull-ups he's using look like real men's underwear. That's what it is. So this is his, I think, his last ditch effort of being, appearance to him is everything. It really honestly is. When I get back to the house, I'm going to take pictures. My father has pictures of himself on the wall. He don't have any pictures of us on the wall. The first person he got on the wall is himself. Those are the main pictures he put up. And I mean big ass pictures, like posters of himself. That's why I call Trump his brother. It's like when they had a thing where Trump was on TV, and Trump had a new book out, and he had a poster of himself laying on the conference table at a news media of himself and this new. I say you and your brother Trump, y'all are really into y'all self. And really what I realize is when you have people like this, it's more of a low self-esteem. They're trying to feed and make themselves feel good about themselves. And God bless them. And my little place on here, he'll tell you, when we started the 411 channel, one of my big things is I don't want you trying to be any of these other YouTubers. I want you to be yourself. Don't try to act like so-and-so. Be yourself. That has got to be, y'all may not like aspects. If people don't like, then don't watch me. You might like aspects of Shy. You might like aspects of DCI. You might like aspects of D-Boy Stance. Because they're them, I want them to be themselves. I don't want you trying to be somebody else. I want you to be you. One of the things that bothers me about humans, and it's something that God showed me, oftentimes we try to impress each other. It is insanity. We try to dress alike, have the same shoes, have a car. So somebody tells us we look good in XYZ car. So we buy what you like. One of my favorite cars is a little Scion XB. The first one that came out that looked like a box. People used to tell me that car is ugly. Okay, I didn't buy my damn car for you. I bought it because it's what I like. My next vehicle might be an old remodeled truck. That's what I like. You might not like it. I'm not going to buy what somebody else's like. Somebody can tell me I look good in a car or envy me. I don't want you. I want you to get what you like for your life and be you. I'm not looking for a fancy home anymore. I'm not looking for anything big because in my youth, I bought stuff to try to be cool and impress other people. And I wasted a lot of money. So for my young folks, hear me. If you don't know who you are, that's a damn problem. And you're going to be like the 70-year-old man or male, grown male at my father's house right now. He's a 70-year-old grown male, too worried about what other people think. God forgive me. I'm going to say, be damned, but the heck with it. You don't stop worrying about what other folks think. They ain't paying your bills. They ain't buying your clothes. They ain't putting the shoes on your feet. They not walking in your path. Be you, be real, try to be a decent human being. Prayerfully, you know the Lord, and live and treat people with some respect and dignity. And make life not just about you. If you have responsibilities, take accountability for those responsibilities. Try to be a blessing to folks. And hopefully, like I said, you know the Lord. So when you do hit your time, you don't hit hell. We don't talk about hell. You don't hit hell, but you go the opposite way. Okay. I'm just real. My father, he's been putting his dirty clothes in the second room where I would stay or any guests would stay. I asked him last time I was here, why did he do that? Now, I'm going to tell you, I know why he does it. And the reason these people do not know how to drive. She backing straight out. What you should have did was cut the tires because the postman was behind her. Cut the tires and back out. And then she could have went around me. Instead, they're going to back straight almost into the damn postman. Don't know how to drive. He's put his clothes there. Now, I realized last time the reason it was being done was because he didn't want to smell his own urine. I realized that. And I'm like, this dude put his dirty clothes. He don't want to smell urine. Because every time his bedding, anything got wet, obviously going to have urine in it. He's putting in the second room. Talking, well, ain't no room in my room and da-da-da-da-da. Oh, but there was room to put the heater in there I just gave you. There's room for anything he wants immediately. But all your dirty clothes, you're walking. He's lazy. You're walking all your clothes in the second room into the corner, the far end corner of the room, away from the door, putting them against the closet. You're doing that because you don't want to smell your own pee. Now, I stayed in that room one time. I didn't smell anything, but he was taking his clothes more frequently. I ain't staying in that room right now. I've been sleeping on the couch because there's some other issues in the room with the clutter, and I got to get that all. I'm trying to have him get. And it's not where I can, but it's crazy. I'll get into that a little bit later. So the other day morning, he hasn't been taking his clothes as often because he is going through his money like water. Okay. And especially you can't keep up foolish. You can't keep up foolish habits. You just can't. Eventually, you're going to go through your money. It's going to bite you in the ass. I'm someone who knows. I was living high off the hog. And I was making very good money and working. But eventually, if you're not managing your money right, the chickens are going to come home and they're going to roost and they're going to cock-a-doodle-doo. Well, he's at cock-a-doodle-doo time. Okay. He's almost going through his IRA. That's almost gone. And you know, and he originally tried to say, well, my kid, I know your kids aren't break. You haven't done shit for your kids. You know, what little you have done to help has been little. The one person he helps the most is my brother who's in prison. But what he did, I walked past that room and I could smell the urine in the hallway. And I had, trying to be nice, I had heard a commercial about incontinence supplies. I ordered the catalog. He got it, and they give you some sample underwears. Now, the sample underwears do look more like diapers. They have the plastic like a diaper. The ones he has now, they don't have the plastic outerwear. They have like a cloth, and they look like underwear. The other ones that I saw are going to be more absorbent. They're going to be thicker, and they're going to be more like a diaper. And that was really what he could use in order to save money because he could wear it longer. Also, it wouldn't leak through, and he wouldn't need the pads like he has. And he wouldn't go through those as fast either. So I said to him, I said, he got the catalog. I said, I ordered something for you because it came by FedEx. They sent him some sample undies. I guess I got a large, and I guess he said he's a small medium. He said, well, that's the wrong size. I was like, well, that's fine. I said, I didn't order those. They give you a sample of their incontinence supplies, their pull-ups. And I said, and so then he's like, well, you know, he just throws the catalog at me. I said, that's not for me, it's for you. He's like, well, you know, he said, well, they don't have, he said, well, those are too big. I said, well, they may be too big, but they still may serve the same purpose. I hadn't seen their catalog. I just saw them advertised on TV. So I'm trying to help you because you're telling me you're almost broke. I know you're spending $1,200 a month in incontinence supplies because he's going to Walgreens, which is one of the most expensive places to get them. Because he doesn't want to be inconvenienced to go to Walmart and get them. He doesn't want to go beyond. He doesn't want to go up the street. He wants to go to He goes to Walgreens. He shops for his. I think he even buys some of his canned soup there. He bought his dish detergent there. He gets the big ball of Dawn. That was like almost $5. He buys the big boy pull-ups, which are $20 for, I'm going to say, I don't even know how many are in the package. I'm going to look and see. He's paying $20 and he goes almost, if not weekly, every other week. He goes like every week or every week and a half. And I think he's going like 2 times to get them. And the more sugar he does, I notice the more he pees. He doesn't even realize that. Okay, somebody hit me up with a question in the the incontinence supplies, it gave you this catalog. He didn't even look at it because he doesn't want to deal with it. It gave him the brand he's on. But I told him, I said, well, you look through there because even if he sticks with that brand, which is foolishness, or with the one he's getting, maybe you can get him cheaper. He wouldn't even look. He just looked, and I was like, okay. And I told him, I said, you haven't even looked in here, but they have all different brands. I said, and they're selling them by the case. So, and they'll bring them to your door. So even if you want to be lazy, you could at least order them on there, get the case delivered, find out if the number you're getting in the case are cheaper than what you're paying for at Walgreens. The catalog somewhere sitting in the house. He didn't look at, and so that's it. I'm not, hey, Nato, what's up, baby? You might have to rewind back to hear the story, but I'm not there. So anyway, when I got to the doctor, they told me it was going to be like $200. I didn't have that. By that time, I paid to fix the car because he had the oil change out, and he was going to pay like $80 for the oil change. I'm like, bro, are you for oil change? He couldn't even tell me whether it was synthetic oil, whether it was regular oil, whether it was what they call the high mileage oil. So there's 3 types you can get, right? I called his mechanic, which bothered me. Yes, you go to the bathroom more. Yes, thank you, brown sugar. Yeah. And see, even I'm going to be honest. So I'm going to be honest. I can get incontinent issues on the truck. I wear an incontinent pad. I'm just going to be honest. And at first I was doing it, and I was like, okay, if I go through Wyoming, I got the thick pad, because Wyoming, you don't have a lot of bathroom stops. And for me, because I'm borderline diabetic, you do pee more frequently. You pee a lot more frequently. So if I can't stop when I need to stop, I'll begin to leak. And so as soon as I'm stopping, it's like I'm running to the bathroom, but you may be leaking. So ain't no shame in my game. I already know. So that's another reason to wait. That's why I told him, I don't want to be you. I want to deal with this. So I don't eat sugar like he does. I'm real cautious of sugar. Do I do have it sometimes? Yes. But this dude, my blood sugar is like 80, 90. Okay. On average, that's where I'm at 400 pounds, which is good. He was at 680 and normally he's between 300 and 400. When I walked in the house this time, he had a whole bag of Reese's, like Halloween Reese's cups in the refrigerator. A gallon of Tropicana orange juice. And while I've been there, he went and bought a gallon of Arizona sweet tea. When you get out, go get me a sweet. I'm not going to get you a sweet tea. I told you I won't contribute to that. Now I'll get you unsweet tea. I'll get you diet tea. I'm not gonna do that. But I'm a realist. I'm a realist. There's just stuff you do. So it's like I've had to be real about breathing. This is a wake-up call to me. And I'm a person that believes God allows things in order to wake us up to do the stuff we need to do. But my father, he lies to himself, then he tries to justify his BS to me. I go, bro, you ain't got to justify nothing to me. I honestly, I've gotten to a point I don't care. And I hate to be that way because I'm trying to be Christian and you try to respect your parents as best you can, even if they didn't help you. I'm trying to get on some stuff with my mother and I'm trying not to do evil for evil. But when I went into the doctor's office, it was going to be $200. I didn't have it. I had like 100 and some change. That would have broke me. And I had other bills that I needed to pay that were coming out. My father's sitting there. He could have done the $200. When we walked out, got in the car, told him what it was going to be. He could have said, no, we're going to go back in there and let's go ahead and get that done. He did not. This man is off the chain. Y'all, if I tell you the story of my biological father, he's off the chain. He the one who sat down and said, bro, you need to start doing this, you're breathing heavier. Because I was just going to get back on the truck and just deal with it. He's the one that said, you need to, how long you're going to be able to do this for? And I started realizing I don't know if he's doing this because he is lonely. I know he's lonely. Or if he's doing this because right now his sight is not the same when he drives. I think he knows he's 70 and he knows he's getting to the point where within maybe a couple years, if nobody's there, he is going to have to go into a home. He's going to have to go. It's honestly, he should probably be in one now, based on his management of his health and who he is, and how his driving is. He's getting to that last ditch point. I told him, I said, if I come here, I'm not here to take care of you. Now I'll cook while I'm there because I'm not paying any rent. So, hey Edie, how you doing? That Edie, the mental thing, I almost wanted to talk to his doctor, but my father has been a jerk all his life. This ain't new. He's very complex. And a Christian friend of mine, and thank you if you watch it, Sherry, she said to me, you got to pray God keep him, because I shared some things with him. My father has always been a very self-centered person. I'll share this story that I shared with her the other day. Back really quick to the healthy. He could have spotted me the $200. He did not. Now, what he did do yesterday, which I'm gonna blow y'all back, he gave me $100 bill because he needs trash bags. And last time I was here, I went to Costco. I have a Costco membership. And I got him because I told him, why are you paying? He was going over to Walgreens, and I mean paying for those Febreze, Glad trash bags. I was like, and I realized he's doing that too because the Febreze covers up for the urine, and the urine stuff he has to throw away. I said, why are you paying all this money at Walgreens? I said, bro, I can go to Costco and get. I got him a big thing for like $16, $17 at Costco. 13-gallon trash bags. They lasted him a year. So he gave me $100 yesterday. Granted, Monday went to the doctor. I was short. Didn't say, here you go. Okay, I'm his oldest child. This Negro right here gives me $100 because he wants the trash bags. Never said here's 100 or here's 200. Let me put part of this on my card. Let's get her seen. Didn't do that. I was feeling better though. I have been feeling better, which I'm gonna get to. But I'm still coughing up stuff. So whoever told me about the CPAP, that has opened my lungs, and I've been coughing up stuff. So thank you. You put it in the comments. Thank you. You'll know who you are if you watch it. He gives me $100 yesterday. Says, hey, we need to get those trash bags. I'm like, okay. And I had some extra to get us through. And I'm sitting up here going, wait a minute. Because, I don't have that much money, yada, yada, yada. And he's stretching money through. I said, okay. We need to get those trash bags. So he gives me $100 bill. I'm like, okay. But at the doctor's office, you couldn't say, hey, let me help you out and give you $200. I just didn't have it. And I didn't ask him for it because to me, I shouldn't have to ask. So it's okay, though. You don't owe me anything. You don't owe me nothing. You didn't do shit for me as a kid. You don't owe me nothing. Didn't do crap for me when I was sick because I got sick in Phoenix really bad. And I won't even tell y'all the level of sick, but it was life-threatening. My father would not drive me to the doctor's office in my car after I got out the hospital and thought that I was going to get up and make breakfast for him in the morning. This man is extremely self-centered. And he was I was 29. He was in his late 40s. Yeah. And I'll be honest, I cussed his ass out so bad, but he doesn't think like that. Then he came back, I don't know if it was 6 months later, almost died in Arizona. I had my house out in Maricopa, had to drive an hour and something to get to Phoenix because I was the closest living relative to him. Go deal with the hospital, saved his life because they weren't even doing anything and I had to jump in the doctor's behind. They discovered based on me telling them what to go look for, and they did what I asked them to do, and he survived it. Yet he wouldn't drive me to the doctor's office. No, Edie, that's not it. He's self-centered. My father has, so it's me, I'm his oldest. It has nothing to do with me. I'm his oldest. His next one is my brother who's in prison, Texas Most Wanted. I think Jonathan's the next one. I think Christina's the other one. Her brother Mackenzie. And then I just recently found out I have a autistic brother here in Texas who's the youngest of us all. Three are by one woman. I'm by my mother. My brother who's in prison is by another woman. And the autistic child is by some other woman. So let me explain. My father was originally putting me and my sister down as his beneficiaries at his credit union and on whatever else. Because I did not feel right about how he handled it when I was here working in Lubbock, I told him, don't put my name on anything. The reason is because I have a problem. I have a problem, and maybe he doesn't like me. I don't know if he does or doesn't. I don't think that's it. My father's self-centered. I'm going to give you an example in a minute. I have a problem because my mother's biological father, her father, my grandfather was probably the man I saw, a person who's a man I saw in my life growing up. And what he did, even though he kind of had some butthole tendencies too, when he died, he left all his children and me, a grandchild, whatever he had, property and money. We all got it. Had my grandfather known how to invest, I wouldn't even have to work because he literally left us some comfortable stuff. Yeah, my brother you can pull my brother up. His name is Norris Smith. You can pull him up on the internet. And he was arrested and had a warrant out for his arrest for armed robbery and attempted murder. He spent his entire life in and out of prison. This is the only child that my father, his mother. Now, that child, he has spent some money on. And I don't know if he feels extra guilty because Norris has spent his entire life in and out of prison. That's just honesty. Y'all should know I'm real. If you don't know it, I'm real. I can't. And I probably could. I think the Lord is dealing with me because a friend of mine told me you need to write books. I do. I probably do. My father sends that boy $100 every month or more on his books at the prison. He just recently told me that he purchased a burial policy for him years ago, and because his money's funny, he may want to cash that out. He initially was going to put me and Christine's name on his, hey, Dustin, sorry to see you. You'll have to go back and play it back. He initially was going to put me and Christine, the sisters, the two girls, on his financial stuff. As I was here at Wells Fargo a while back, because I tried to tell him, because he initially thought he could cash out. He got an annuity through the road on top of his pension. And it's because they bought out a union contract. An annuity, and not to get y'all confused, is a retirement instrument for those who need to know. Anytime you have a retirement instrument, an IRA, annuity, any instrument that has to do with retirement, if you cash that out, there are tax consequences. I'm talking about the government can take 40. I told him over the phone, because he initially wanted to cash it out and go buy a $60,000 car. I had never been to some help because you're not understanding what you're doing. We had built a friendship. He told people, Shannon is my best friend. My real name is Shannon. Shannon's my best friend. He told me my oldest daughter is my best friend. We had built a friendship from age 25 up until then. But my father is self-centered. And I'm going to give you an example that has nothing to do with me. Actually, two. When he got sick in Arizona and almost died, he had to stay with a relative. We have a great uncle there. His mother was dead. My great aunt was dead. And the only other relative he could stay with was my uncle. They retired. They were home. I lived too far out, and I was not going to be at the house taking care of him. I'm not. They just wanted, and really, when I said taking care of, you needed to have somebody there on a regular basis, because when they released him from the hospital, but I'm going to tell the story. Sorry about that. I got a phone call. They wanted to have him there because the wound was still open, and if something happened, they could get him to the hospital. I wasn't in position. Manager at a cellular company. I didn't have that time, and so my great uncle, his mother's brother, his uncle, they took my father in. So this is one story. My father is such a grown little boy. We were at this house, okay? These people, when he first had prostate cancer, they sent him money. His money was low. My father was living here in Lubbock. My uncle says, we'll take Monty in. Monty, come stay with us. They good him up. My aunt, she's cooking dinner, and these people are older than him. So my aunt says to him, I'm visiting, just checking in. She says, yeah, baby, we're going to have, I'm doing some chicken breast tonight. I'm doing this, and this. This Negro goes, I don't like chicken breast. What the Sam hell? It's dry. I don't like chicken breast. Negro, please. You staying in somebody's house. You ain't paid for near damn grocery. These people showing you love, driving your ass around. And I mean, like an insolent child. And you should have seen the look on her face. This woman going out making one of her best meals. I sat back like this. I couldn't even say anything because I was blown away. So I said, Aunt Darkest, is my aunt. Aunt Darkest, I'm going to come back tomorrow. I'm going to take him to the doctor. I called in, scheduled the day off because we can have a come to Jesus meeting. Because here are these good-hearted people providing you clean shelter. This woman in the kitchen, you ain't cooked shit. Excuse my French, y'all. I'm getting ready to go there. And you got the nerve to tell somebody what you don't like? Negro, please. Yeah, ooh, sweet mother of God. So I got in the car, picked him up, took him to his doctor appointment. Calm. Y'all, calm. On the way back, I said, don't get out the car yet. I need to talk to you. Okay. I said, and my father's name is Monty. I said, Monty, you remember yesterday we were here in Our Darkest telling you what? Yeah. I said, you remember you told her you don't like chicken breast? Well, I don't. I said, interesting. I said, let me explain something to you. I said, I don't know, God bless you. I love my grandmother. I don't know who created you. What made you who you are? What made you think that the sun, the moon, the stars shine and rise on your ass? But these people have opened up their home to you. These people, when you were sick in Texas and had prostate cancer and your money was thin and you could barely pay your rent, these people dropped a couple thousand, sent it to you for you to make it. These people That woman up in that kitchen, you ain't got up to cook crap. These people ain't asked you for a dime. And that woman tells you she cooking some chicken breast. Negro, you like chicken? Yes. Then you better eat that damn breast and not have one damn complaint. Because that woman was cooking you her best meal by everything she described. She's cooking a nice meal to bless you. And you just took your crack of your behind and crapped on it and told her what you don't like. He said, stop talking. His eyes filled with water. He didn't even realize, because he's so self-centered, how rude he was to the people who had opened their home and showed him love. And at that point, I was in my 30s, so that makes him somewhere in his 50s. That's my biological father. Yes. So the other day, we said, and I went and got some barbecue. And so he decided, as old people like to tell their stories when they get in their spot. And don't get me wrong, whoever said about the mental thing, I do think there's mental stuff too. He said the other day, he's telling me a story about when he was living at home. Now, his father also got prostate cancer. Knew 6 years before, didn't tell him died of prostate cancer. So my father did do one good thing. He did go and work on the farm, because they had a dairy farm between Plainview and Lubbock. His father owned a dairy farm, and he worked on the farm until his father died. And he had 2 adopted siblings, and they sold the property and split everything, right? So my biological father went and worked on the farm. He was working for Department of Agriculture out of Vietnam, once he got out of Vietnam. And, he worked on the base in Germany, but his Vietnam time. When he got back here to the States, he worked on the dairy farm when he found out his father had prostate cancer and quit working for Department of Agriculture. Worked on the farm, and I'm presuming this is the time frame, because his stepmother, I think, was dead by then. This Negro went and got some barbecue, okay? Came back, had some barbecue brisket sandwiches, whatever else he had to eat. He tells me this story, and I want y'all to hear this story, and then I got to call Joe back, and I'm in this call, and we'll talk later. I'll catch up with y'all later, because I got to go over here, go to Starbucks, and put in for this other company. This brother, and y'all, I'm sorry, I'm raw. Right now I'm raw because I gotta go. I'm ready to be on the road. I gotta get away from him. Because I'm trying to be at peace, but right now he's messed with my peace. He turns around, he tells me the story where he was living with his father, came in with some barbecue, and his dad says to him, "Hey boy, what's that you got there? It smells good." "Oh, I got myself some barbecue brisket sandwiches. I got a couple in here. You want one?" I couldn't even speak. He didn't realize what he said to me. I didn't say nothing for the whole day, y'all. I ain't say nothing for the whole day. I couldn't. I was like, this Negro here. Oh, sweet mother of God. I couldn't even speak English. I was like, what in the Sam hell? So the next day I came in, and I forgot how we got in another conversation. I said, "Money, something bothered me." I said, "Who in the hell created you? Who are you talking about?" I said, "You remember the barbecue story?" Yeah. I said, "How in the Sam hell do you go into your daddy's house, living at home, and take yourself some barbecue and don't take him shit? What the Sam hell is wrong with you?" Oh, so when you say my father don't like me, I don't think it has shit to do with me. It has to do with him. It honestly does. And it's just who he is. He is an asshole. He just is. And that's what I tell people. I come from 2 unique buttholes. So if I have some butthole tendencies, I've earned them honestly. But I can't. When I stayed with Vivian and Vicky and had my car, and if I needed, I always showed up, and I would ask, "You guys want something if I go out?" If I had the money, or I would ask them, "Hey guys, before I go out, I ain't got money to treat, but if you want me to grab you something, y'all hook me up with some dollars, write down what you want, I'll go get it." You staying at the house. When I go right now, even though this man male has been special, today, when I go back to the house, I'm going to take him something to eat. That's just respectful, and it's just right. How do you walk in your family's house, in your daddy's house, and not bring him something to eat, but bring yourself? I can't even speak English on it. I can't. Y'all, I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. So I don't think it has anything to do with me. It is really who my biological father is. He is just that self-centered. And let me help you even more. So yesterday gave me $100. Was yesterday? Yesterday gave me $100. Monday was the appointment I canceled, knowing it was going to be $200, right? Gave me $100 to get some trash bags, and I'm going to get a whole bunch of other stuff with that $100, right? I am. Because we don't have no, right now we're running around the groceries, and I'm not going to do any more groceries because I've been covering all the food since we've been here for the past 3 weeks, plus getting the car done, which cost me $50 some to get the oil change done. I had to do the most expensive one because he nor his mechanic could tell me whether they put synthetic oil, which I think his mechanic was full of crap because his mechanic thought that he could get him in there and pay another $80 he just put a $700, $600 or $700 all need to be changed when he was in there for that alternator. That should have been done then. And so I'm not paying you $80 when I know I can go to Walmart and get it done for like under $50, which is what I did. And I did the synthetic because nobody could tell me what oil that was being used. Okay. It is insanity. And his mechanic somehow couldn't go back to his damn records to see what the last oil change is. It's just insanity. Anyway, it was charged $80 for a synthetic oil change. Girl, please. I cut that bill almost in half. $50, 40 some, $45 with tax, about $50 to do the oil change on this car. That was the video I did outside of Walmart, getting the oil change done. So, last story, and then I got to get off here and call Joe back. Last story, y'all. His brother right here. It's Negro. My biological father, he is a hot ass mess. I just got to shake my head. So yesterday, what was yesterday or Monday evening? I can't remember. What's today? Wednesday? I think it was it was yesterday afternoon, evening, Monday afternoon, evening, or either Tuesday. I can't remember. He gave me $100 to go get. Rephrase. It was Monday morning. He gave me the $100 Monday afternoon. Monday morning when he came in yesterday, or Tuesday morning, he gave me the $100 yesterday afternoon, evening. Tuesday morning, this is what he says after the doctor's appointment where I didn't have the money, I had to reschedule it out. And I was feeling better, so I almost thought about canceling because I was starting to cough up stuff. He goes, he came in from breakfast, and then I was getting up. Hey, Junior, because he calls me Junior or Booger Snatch. I don't know. He makes up names for people. Hey, Junior. I'm like, He's like, in case something happens to you, who all do you want me to contact? This nigga, I'm sorry, I'm sweating, y'all. This Negro here, you sense that my breathing is off, and I guess you think I'm a croak tomorrow. Maybe I will. I don't know. That's in God's hands. And you got the nerve. You can't say, okay, here, kid, here's $200. But you got the nerve to then ask me, who of my friends should you contact to tell them I guess I'm dead? And I looked at him and started laughing. I just kind of smiled and giggled. He's like, well, you know what I'm saying is, if something happened to me, you know who to contact. I said, I'm going to make one phone call. I'm going to contact a relative who talks to everybody. And I'm going to contact the kids. After that, it's on them. And honestly, y'all, I'm trying to be mean, and it's not that I'm after anything, because I know he don't have anything anymore. If he does, it's just his life insurance policy, and I have no idea what that's worth. If it's enough to get him in the ground, good. If not, then the veterans going to have to do it, and if the veterans can't do it, he's going to be left on the state if it's up to Shannon. I'm not doing no PayPal. I'm not doing no, what is that other accounts they do for people? I'm not doing none of that. And I told my sister that. I said, look, I, Shannon Dollar Lewis, will not be going through no car washes, no nothing. Every state has the capability of putting Negroes in the ground. Even if I die tomorrow and I don't have no life insurance policy, then go with the state. You don't go out of your way, because ultimately the person in the body gone. It's just a shell. And all that other shenanigans is for the people who left. Go and do the cremation, whatever they do with the state, and just put me in the ground. We ain't got to worry about crap else. But I was blown because I'm thinking, you are really a special human being. You special. You special. So I don't think it's a like. I don't think it's a dislike. I just think he's a dick. And honestly, he don't even sometimes realize how much of a dick he is. When he told me that the brother who I found out later was autistic, he told me he was slow. So I figured it was a learning disability. When he told me he was autistic and I realized he'd gotten that money and wanted to go out and buy a $60,000 sports car, he's got suits hanging in his closet. He bought Stacey Adams suits and shoes and $400 or $500 for suits so that he can sit in a pulpit and people tell him he's pretty. And I keep telling him, I said, if you're going to minister, it's not about you. It's not. I said, that's one thing God has really shown me, because it's very easy when you're in ministry, I've been there, to get caught up in your ego because of the gifting that God has on your life. But if you're going up there, and it's funny because he would write stuff, like the Lord would give him stuff, and everything he'd write day after day would be stuff telling him it's not about you. Because my father got caught up in the attention he was getting. I told him, you got to get to a point where it's not about you. Right now, he won't serve in church because it is about him. He don't want to sit up there and piss on himself. So because he refuses to come out of the psychological mindset that you need to get the big boy pull-ups with the plastic on them and the thick absorbency, and you don't want to look like you got a diaper on, who cares? You're 70 years old. You can walk, you can talk, you got half a mind. Bro, you need to take your behind and be able to go and interact and tell some people who you are and what not to be. But I realized that's not him. So be who you are, do who you are. So no, I don't think it's personal. I just think that's who he is. And then with the lying, I realized I think that's just who he has been. Hey, Quan, what's up, baby boy? You got to play it back because I'm getting ready to head off here. But that's what's going on. I'm going to be checking in with a lot of y'all later. I've been on here an hour. I got to call Joe back. But I got to do some runs. I got to call Joe back real quick because I got to get him while he's available. For those of you who may watch this later, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like, subscribe. You got any? For those of you who got trucking questions, yes, I'm hopefully be back in the game. Y'all be praying for me. The breathing is better. I am coughing up stuff, but I also believe that a lot of this has to do with my weight, and I believe this is God just saying, wake the hell up, get this weight off. And I've been asking, so sometimes we gotta be careful what we ask for, because I've been asking God to really kind of help me get to that point of starting to get this weight off. And I believe this is the knock cock-a-doodle-doo at the door to really focus on getting my weight down. So as truckers, y'all, I'm gonna say this, prayerfully, God willing, and he extends my time, y'all will start watching me kind of get this, drop this weight, because I believe that's going to help me get it off faster. And I'm just believing God is healed and is healing any breathing issues, because like I said, where I was when I talked to y'all before, it was bad. Where I'm at now, I'm doing better. Got a couple of stiff issues going on that I need to just kind of hopefully I'm believing God to heal those too. And I got another friend of mine going through some health stuff that I'm believing God has healed her as well. So we kind of on a parallel. But y'all be blessed. I'll be back maybe later tonight or maybe tomorrow, because I had to get out the house today. Because by the time I got done with the who do I contact in case your ass croak. I think you sick enough that you might croak, but I can't give you $200 to pay the doctor. Negro, please. Don't tell me, oh, it's okay. You can, hang out here. You can, crash here. But you have to understand that's to benefit him because he's lonely. And if I'm there, I've gotten to a point like just even TV. If I watch something, he thinks he's hurt me because he wants to see what he wants to see. I'm like, oh, bro, go and watch what you want to do. I got my cell phone. Granted, the service sucks, but I'll go ahead, tap in, get me a little channel, watch it, and then all of a sudden, oh, here's a remote. You watch what you want to watch. That's okay. Bro, do you? It's a manipulation control thing that he's done. He's done it with a lot of females. And I had to check him the other day because he kind of goes into the mode like how he used to talk to other females. And I said, oh, you do know I'm your child, right? Yeah. Oh, you do know I'm Francis's child. That's my mother. Yeah. You do know both of y'all got asshole tendencies, right? Yeah. So if two assholes get together, what do you produce? I said, I ain't none of these tricks you was dating. So if you talking about, because he like try to snap and talk to him like go and how he would talk to, I think how he talked to other females. I said, you'll be ass out up here with me. I was joking. I'm not. And he tell his friends, Shannon will say what she feels and she don't care. Damn Skippy. Damn Skippy. So because these women, and I'll share this, he had one girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, and she really, really cared for him. Honestly, she did. Very sweet lady. I met her out here. And she was felt sorry for him. She's about, I think, 10, 15 years younger. And well, that's probably what's wrong with her. I think he was a mama boy too much. They really made him think the sun and moon, and then he got a bunch of sorry ass females. He liked fat women, and being a fat woman, I'm a little bit different, probably because of the alternate lifestyle stuff that I was in. And I was a big tomboy. Let me talk about that here in a minute too. I'm not somebody you can talk to any old way. You get your feelings hurt with me, because I'll tell you, I love Jesus all day long. But in the words of one of my aunts, he told me that she had some health issues. Do you know he didn't ask her how she was doing, if she was okay, didn't call back to check on her? This woman cooked meals for him for years, several years, after they were not even seeing each other. Every day. Who does that? And you don't ask this woman how she's doing. So like I said, it ain't personal. He's just a jerk. It's just who he is. She woke up, and she finally stopped cooking. I had to tell him to call her and check on her. So, and that's the other thing. Here's a really big disclosure for y'all. I appreciate a lot of y'all watched me, and some people have hooked up with me on Facebook. I'm going to make this disclosure. It's not to be rude, and it's not to negate anybody. This channel, what I do, I'm real, I'm personal. I try to be personable. I tell you about my life. I don't care. I'm pretty much somewhat of an open book. I told people when I first came to this channel, Christian, I told people I was active in the gay lifestyle in my younger days. I am not active now. I've made some choices based on my Christian belief system. I'm not judging anybody else who is active. I'm not judging you if you're gay, bisexual, transgender. I'm not. To me, what you do on that level is between you and the Lord. I have made my decisions based on my understanding and interpretation of Scripture. You have to do yours. And if you feel that, hey, this is cool and whatever, do you. I'm not judging. However, if you're in the background of this channel and you're trying to either hook up, talk to me about, and not to knock anybody, I appreciate that you may feel comfortable enough to talk to me about relational issues or domestic issues. I do not get involved in those, whether they're heterosexual, homosexual, whatever. I don't get involved in that stuff. Okay. I just don't. I won't. It's who I am. It's where I'm at in my life now. Okay. If you are in the background of this channel and you're trying to have me join lesbian, gay, homosexual groups, whatever, if you're doing any of that, I am not going to be part of that. I'm not, because I've made Christian choices for myself, that this is not an area I walk in anymore. I'm not ashamed of what I went through. I'm not ashamed of who I am. I'm not ashamed of where I'm at, but I'm real. So while I will help you with trucking, while I will help you with other questions, while I might even minister on some levels and listen to some personal stuff, if in any form or fashion I feel you're trying to pull me back in that direction, that conversation will end. So that's just a little disclosure. Hey, Sherry, stop, drop, and roll on. Thank you for joining today. You got to go back and watch it, girl, because I've got to call Joe back, and I'm getting ready to I can't. That's not where I'm at. God has done some tremendous things along the journey, and my desires aren't even in that realm anymore. If you're male, because I get some of those too, and you want to meet up, hook up, that's not where I'm at. And I don't know how many ways to tell you. If I get a truck where I can have a dog on it, I'm going to get me a Cocker Spaniel, and I'm probably going to nickname them Cuddles. That's going to be the length of my relationship. God is going to show me something spectacular in a male, which hopefully would be a man, for me to even want to settle down with one, because I'm dealing with grown males right now, and I have zero tolerance for foolishness. I also am at a certain place in my life. So right now, my focus is getting on this page that I need to get on what God is doing in my life, because he's blessing me even right now. Because where I was at when I got here and where I'm at now is two different things. And it scared me for a minute. But then I had to reminisce on some other health issues I had. And I don't think God is through with me yet. I can't. I can't. So it's not, again, understand, everybody has a journey. And I'm not trying to knock, because I know I have people on here who are transgender. I know I have groups of ladies who follow me who are active in the lesbian lifestyle. I'm not judging you. I will not, because I am not Jesus. I do not have the final say. I do not know where you're at in your journey. I don't know how he judges, because David was a murderer and an adulterer, but yet he says he's a man after his own heart. So for me, I never understood how David made it in, because if Shannon in her humanness don't get it, God sees something else. So I got to the point, I can't judge. I love people as best I can where they at, keep it pushing. But the goal of the channel is to really help you with trucking and be real as I can as a person, so you can see that I'm a human behind the scenes. I've had people share some very deep and dark things about their life, and I pray about that. But I do not get involved in domestic stuff, any domestic stuff. When it comes to relationships, questions about relationships, the most you'll get out of me is tell you, talk to the Lord about it. That's it. And I don't want to be any more involved, because sometimes people are giving me that in order to open other doors. I don't get involved in that. Or they like to be in their mess. If you do, and it's messy, I don't want to be in your mess. I'm not going to be a part of that. I have conversations with folks, spouses on the 411 channel for that exact thing. I'm not. Shannon Dahl Lewis does not. I can't. So sharing that out, Sherry, me and you'll talk, roll back, you'll see everything. Today, y'all keep me in prayer. I'm putting in for a trucking company here in Lubbock. I do have a gig. If I don't hear from the Lubbock Trucking Company, probably by between now and Friday of next week, that following Monday, I'll be at the company that I do know is a go. Because I got to get back on the road. I can't. Another week at my dad's house is going to drive me batty. So I got to go. I was looking at possibly a work from home, but as I've sat there today and just really pondered it, I'm trusting God that I'll be where I need to be on the road with somebody's trucking company. And prayerfully, this will be the final move, because I'm tired. I want to get a decent company that treats me well. This was a lady truck driver who was referring me in that company, who gave me some good information. The other one is where Shy is at, and Shy has referred me in, and that's a go. I just have to go do a driving and backing test and the drug screening, which drug screening is never a problem for me. No, it would not be local, Edie. It's local in the sense that it's here in Lubbock, so I could home time occasionally here in Lubbock. If I can have a little distance with my father, he doesn't get on my nerves as much. So it would be somewhere to crash, and then if I had to, I could rent a car or stay with Vivian and Vicky and then hang out with them and Joe, because that's really the only people I really deal with in Arizona. There's really no other reason. Oh, and the one I'm going to do the interview, her truck is up and running. She's actually on her way back to Arizona. So we're going to try to get something together, maybe before I get back on the road, to interview with her. And I got to finagle something together. What I'd like to do is do it on this channel and then have it where you guys can hear her. And what I might have to do is borrow my dad's phone. And this might be perfect. This is a good little spot. I get good cell reception. We put her on speaker, ask her some questions, and you guys get some feedback. So I might do that. Borrow his cell phone, because his is it's Sprint. Mine is Ghetto Sprint. But it'll work. So yeah, I really want you guys to be able to hear that. Yeah, you got to pray on it, Brown Sugar. That's all I can tell you, baby. Pray, 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 pray. Especially if you're dealing with a male that's like my father. God bless you for those of you who have gone into covenant. And covenant is marriage relationships with males like my father. God bless you. Because that's tough. I don't even know. The reason my father's alone is because of who he is right now. And God bless him, and just God bless him. It's a hot mess. The thing about if you croak, he didn't say it like that, but basically, excuse me, y'all, I gotta be real. I had to spit that out. Basically, that's what he was asking me. If you die tomorrow, who do we call? That really just threw me, and then $100 for the trash bag, but you could spot $200 for me to see the doctor the other day. I can't. So it's okay, because God knew what God needed to do. And there's a reason, because I think this was aiming me into going back, because I really wasn't sure. Do I want to sit here and do a work from home, going back into a corporate life, which I really kind of didn't want to do. And then I would be here more often. And initially I was kind of focused on, well, I can help him. But at the same time, I'm just not there anymore. I'm not, like I said, when he gets to the point where he can't do anything, and I'm not trying to be mean, you are supposed to try to be as respectful of your parents and honor them as best you can, even though my parents are not are not honorable at all. I can't. I can't. I won't. I mean, Jesus is going to have he's going to have a dream conversation with me. It ain't going to happen. Yesterday did it for me. Yesterday, with if you croak, help me out on didn't even volunteer to help me out with the doctor bill. So I'm like, I'm cool. And he doesn't owe me anything. I'm grown, so you don't owe me nothing. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to get off of here. Sherry, I'll talk to you a little bit later. You can watch the video and kind of catch up everything. Everybody who came in later, please watch it. Also, give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe. Anybody who's not on here, we are at a 600 plus membership. Again, I wasn't trying to be rude, but I am real. And what my goals are. And yeah, I'm not looking to get hooked up. That's not what this channel, I am not. I know there's some female truck drivers who do that on every other level. I am not. And I have associations on here and on 411 who I know are actively in the old lifestyle I was in. That's fine. That's your business. You know, love them dearly, good people. I've made choices for me. You have to make choices for you. And at the end of the day, we all have to have what I call answer to the piper. When we close our eyes and we move to the next level, we stand before someone. And I believe it's the God of the Bible. And I have my own interpretation of that after years of really struggling on a lot of different levels with it. You may interpret it different. I don't argue scripture with people. I got a friend on here, love him dearly. We have very distinct, different views on Christianity. Tells me some things. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I don't believe what you're saying and throwing this. I don't do that. I just don't. I am 50 years old, getting ready to be 51 in June. I am not going to sit here and argue God's word with you. I'm not. I am just not. I'm at a whole nother place. There's a scripture there talking about shake the dust. They receive you cool. They don't shake the dust. I'm one of them people. And I can automatically sometimes tell. There's just conversations you just don't get the hell in. That's one of them. That's one of them. I'm not going to argue. You have your own view. I have my view. I respect your view. Yeah, God gave you the free will to have it, whether I think it's right or wrong. But I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not. I'm not. Anyway, y'all, two be blessed. Let me see if I can get back in